Okay, what if I told you the way Kazuma Okamoto is talked about right now doesn't even come close to who he actually is?
Blue Jays got better today.
Thank you for your support. Nice to meet you.
Cause while the spotlight has been locked onto Munetaka Murakami and his path to the MLB, there's another name scouts have been circling quietly.
Fascinating addition, and Okamoto for years now think he'll play third base for the Blue Jays.
And it's not just that Kazuma Okamoto might be a better hitter. It's why his profile feels so familiar. The power that doesn't come in streaks. The consistency that never dips. The way he's carried Japan's most demanding franchise for years without theatrics, hype, or excuses. The more you peel it back, the harder it becomes to ignore the comparison people hesitate to make out loud. Because Okamoto doesn't just remind you of Hideki Matsui, he mirrors him. Same role, same responsibility, same calm dominance in the middle of the lineup.
Here's a fly ball well hit to left off the bat of Matsui and gone.
And while most fans are still looking in another direction, there's a real chance the Blue Jays have quietly positioned themselves for a middle-of-the-order force MLB never saw coming. So the question isn't if Kazuma Okamoto is good. The question is, how good is he actually? Check this out. There have only been 84 Japanese-born players in the entire history of Major League Baseball. 84. That's it. Now narrow that group down. Only 13 of them have ever reached 1,000 plate appearances at the MLB level. Only 5 position players have ever finished their careers with a B WAR of 10 or higher. And those names, you already know them. Ichiro Suzuki, Shohei Ohtani, Hideki Matsui, Seiya Suzuki, Norichika Aoki. That's the short list. That's the bar. And when it comes to pure power, the list gets even smaller. Only 3 Japanese-born players in MLB history have hit 50 or more home runs. Ichiro, Ohtani, Matsui. That's it. That's the mountain. And if you're already raising an eyebrow, drop a comment right now and tell me which name surprised you the most. Because in Japan, among scouts, analysts, the next name to belong in that company is Kazuma Okamoto. When the Yomiuri Giants selected Okamoto in the first round, they weren't drafting a project. By all accounts, they believed he was already built for the pressure. He made his NPB debut in 2015 with the same franchise that once handed its lineup to Matsui and said, "Carry us." This is the Giants. Patience is thin. By 2017, once Okamoto finally locked down everyday playing time, something just clicked. And it didn't unclick. From that point on, it was 30-plus home runs year after year. Even in a so-called down season, the numbers still looked elite by league standards. 6-time NPB All-Star, 2019 Central League Climax Series MVP. In 2020, he led the league in home runs and RBIs. At his peak, he hit 41 home runs. And during the so-called dead ball era, he still cleared 30 without blinking. That's the difference between a breakout hitter and a career force. Nobody in Japan throws around the Matsui comparison lightly, like ever. So if that name keeps coming up around Okamoto, ask yourself why. If you're starting to see it too, let me know in the comments. Is the Matsui comparison crazy or overdue? And if you made it this far, you're clearly locked in. So yeah, hit subscribe. Not because you gotta, but because this is only gonna get more interesting. The way Okamoto absorbs pressure, the way he stabilizes an entire offense, the way pitchers change how they attack a lineup just because he's standing there. Those are Matsui traits. And while most of the baseball world is still focused elsewhere, all signs point to Okamoto being less of a risk and the bigger reward. At this point, it's no longer about if Okamoto can succeed in MLB. It's about how much he can carry. So when Toronto committed 4 years and $60 million without hesitation, they weren't gambling. They were betting on a profile that MLB history has already rewarded. Durability, discipline, power that doesn't vanish. And once you look closely at how Kazuma Okamoto actually hits, the truth becomes impossible to ignore. When players come over from Japan, the debate usually starts with the same question. Will the power translate? But that's the wrong place to look. Because the real danger with Kazuma Okamoto isn't how far he hits the ball, it's how little he gives pitchers to work with. Plenty of hitters can run into home runs. Very few hitters force pitchers into mistakes. Okamoto does that for a living. His strikeout rate has lived in the 15 to 19% range for years, which is extremely rare for a hitter who consistently clears 30 home runs. For context, most power-first bats live with strikeout rates well north of that, often as the cost of doing business. Okamoto once posted an 11.3% walk rate while also keeping his strikeouts under control and still maintained his power profile in 2025. Even in a limited sample, the result was a career-best 1,014 OPS. And that combination doesn't happen by accident. Raw power is easy to sell, but front offices lose jobs over swing and miss profiles. And Okamoto doesn't bring one. His in-zone contact rate has hovered around 90%, which puts him in extremely rare territory for hitters with his level of production. Last season, only 33 qualified MLB hitters matched that mark. For a Blue Jays team that already excelled at putting the ball in play with authority in 2025, that's not just a good fit. It's a downright dangerous one. Now, yes, MLB velocity is different, but this isn't a hitter guessing fastball and hoping. This is a hitter who stays on plane, tracks spin early, lets the ball travel, and punishes mistakes without overswinging. Quick pause here. What do you value more in today's MLB? Contact or raw power? One word, drop it in the comments. Because Okamoto gives you both. His postseason numbers in Japan and on the international stage are elite.
Home yard, facing a 1-2 count. On it. Gets it into the gap and left.
At the 2023 World Baseball Classic against MLB caliber pitching, he posted a 1,278 OPS and delivered in the biggest moments, including a home run in the championship game.
Sorsa to Okamoto. He hangs back and puts it in the edge. Good!
Because that tournament told us something important. This isn't a mystery box. It isn't projection. It definitely isn't hype. Everything we've talked about so far is exactly why the Blue Jays didn't hesitate to commit real money to this profile. And here's the thing. We still haven't talked about the most important part. In Japan, Kazuma Okamoto earned the nickname the Young General for a reason. For nearly a decade, he wasn't just another bat in the lineup. He was the anchor. The guy managers penciled into the middle of the order every single night, knowing exactly what they were getting. And what they got was consistency bordering on absurd. Over his NPB career, Okamoto posted an 882 OPS and launched 248 home runs, numbers that don't happen by accident. That production earned him 6 NPB All-Star selections, 3 Central League home run titles, Climax Series MVP honors in 2019. And when the moment demanded more, he delivered. Okamoto dragged his team through the 2019 Climax Series, crushing 3 home runs, including the series-clinching blast that sent the Giants to their first Japan series since 2013. That wasn't hype, that was responsibility. When you think about translating NPB stars to MLB, do you value track record or upside more? Drop one word in the comments. Because if we strip this down to what actually translates to MLB, the resume only gets stronger. From 2018 to 2023, Okamoto crushed 206 home runs, clearing the 30-homer mark in 6 straight seasons. And even when injuries limited him in 2025, he still produced a 31-homer pace, despite appearing in just 69 games. That shortened 2025 season, the slash line jumped off the page. 327 average, 416 on base, 598 slugging, 1,014 OPS. So why does his profile fit the Blue Jays so cleanly? The Blue Jays didn't chase Okamoto for viral exit velocities or social media buzz. They targeted a hitter who wears pitchers down, controls at-bats, and still punishes mistakes when they leak over the plate. And the batted ball profile backs it all up. In 2025, Okamoto ranked in the 97th percentile with a 66.8% air ball rate, while just 32.6% of his balls in play stayed on the ground. He doesn't need 115-mile-per-hour lasers. He creates lift, angle, and repeatable damage. And that profile just so happens to line up perfectly with the Rogers Center, which has quietly become one of the most favorable parks in baseball for right-handed power since its renovations. Defensively, Okamoto brings real flexibility too. He's logged significant time at first and third base, earning Matsui Golden Glove awards in 2021 and 2022. And while he's not an everyday outfielder, he still appeared in 68 career games in left field. That versatility matters over a long MLB season, especially for a roster built around matchup flexibility. At the 2023 World Baseball Classic, Okamoto was one of Japan's engines. So if you're wondering what this production actually looks like over a 162-game MLB season, let's strip away the hype and just follow the data. Okamoto doesn't project as a mystery box. He projects as a hitter who posts a 350+ on-base percentage, lives in the 470 to 520 slugging range, falls somewhere between 20 to 28 home runs in a neutral MLB season, drives and runs without needing to bat cleanup every night. That may not sound headline-grabbing at first, but here's why it matters. Those numbers don't come in streaks. You don't wait weeks for them to show up. You get them consistently. And over a full season, that kind of bat quietly becomes indispensable. Does a hitter like this actually put the Blue Jays back on track toward a World Series run? Be honest. Drop a yes or a no in the comments. Now, as for whether MLB pitchers will figure him out, I highly doubt it. Because MLB pitchers almost always try the same script with new hitters. Elevate fastballs, spin sliders away, shrink the zone, wait for frustration. That approach works against hitters who need a certain pitch. Okamoto doesn't. He doesn't chase velocity for ego points. He doesn't sell out to prove power. And that patience forces pitchers to come back over the plate. And when they do, especially in hitters counts, Okamoto doesn't miss very often. That's why his transition projects as short and honestly boring. And boring is exactly what the Blue Jays want. Because in Toronto, Okamoto doesn't have to be the guy. He doesn't need to carry the offense. He doesn't need to justify the contract every night. Okamoto's floor is high, and all signs point to him being better than even this projection. Does Kazuma Okamoto hit his first MLB home run before May 1st or after? Pick a side and drop a date. Let's see who actually called it. And one more thing, if you're looking for the best MLB content this season, hit the subscribe button. We're doing this all year. And don't forget to like the video, cause if Okamoto becomes what this profile suggests, this won't be the last time we're talking about him.